Hey, how's it going, everybody? I want to give y'all a little recap of what happened in my recent mission trip to New York City. This is for all you donors out there. I gotta say, I think I've been on 2 mission trips total so far. I've been to Costa Rica last year, and that was awesome. But I think out of the 2, New York City was the most fruitful if we're looking at it from a spiritual perspective. So the majority of our time in New York City, we spent it at the college in Queens. It's just called Queens College. And we hung out in the cafeteria and just met as many people as we could. And what ended up happening was we hung out with a lot of Muslims, Buddhists, and also a lot of Jewish people. But our time there was amazing. You know, we made so many friends. And I was thinking, because we were interacting with a lot of people of other religions, that we weren't going to get very far, but they were actually very curious at the idea that there could be a God who is as compassionate, loving, and gracious as Jesus. You know, basically most of our time we were hanging out with these guys. We had fun in the city with them, did all kinds of stupid stuff, went to some very interesting and weird stores, you know, in the city.
Hold on. Anthony! Yeah! Bye, Anthony!
Change your mind. Holy scriptures on my mind. About to say them like they some rhymes, but they more than that, yeah.
But when it was time to kind of slow down and sit down somewhere and eat, that's where they got to kind of hear where we stand with Christ. Oh. So overall, what I found to be fascinating about the Chi Alpha located in New York City, the ministry there, right, was that they had members of all kinds of different religions. Like, yeah, you got people who are seeking Christ, you know, they might claim to be Christian, but there were also Muslims attending their service on Thursday nights, and people of different backgrounds and stuff like that. And I loved that, because it means that this Chi Alpha, they're seeking after people who are broken. They're seeking after people who need, who feel the need for a savior, and who may not totally believe in him yet. Unfortunately, I didn't film much about actual small group time or much of our actual ministry at Queens College. I kind of wish I did at this point. But there were a lot of conversations. I got to share so many God stories with people, and I've never seen people actually curious to hear about them, and when they do, be surprised about it, right? And that was so cool. There was actually one conversation I had with, it was a couple of Muslims. One of them was named Zabrin, and one was named Ryan. Like, that's the American way to say it, but it was actually like Orion. we were talking about the meaning behind someone's name, right? So like for Orion, in his home country, the meaning of his name is gateway to heaven, right? Stuff like that. Another guy's name meant gift from God, right? And we were kind of talking about that. And they asked me, so what does David mean, right? And I told them, well, it means beloved, right? Beloved by God. And I explained to them the story of how my parents, when they were trying to figure out what to name me, they prayed first. They asked the Lord, what do you want to name our son? And they felt like God was kind of pushing him toward the direction of David. And when I was explaining the story to them, they couldn't believe that the God that I worship cares about minor details like that. That fascinated them. Because in their religion, Islam, that's just not a thing. So yeah, overall, I feel like, so when I was in New York City, I built a deeper connection with the people I interacted with than I do on a regular basis, I feel like, at home. And I don't think it's because, New York City, it's a better place to live, right? People there are cooler. I don't think it's really that. I feel like it was just God placed the right people at the right time so that I would run into them and interact with them. And it wasn't just me telling them about how cool Jesus is. It was also them dropping a nugget of wisdom I was not expecting. And it was like, wait, did God just speak through you? That was kind of weird, And so, yeah, this trip was amazing. And I'm very thankful for all of you, the people who were willing to donate and fundraise my trip. And, I see the full depth of the fruits of what, your contribution meant. Might not be easy for you to see it from this video. There was so much that happened. This video would be an hour long if I were to explain the whole trip. But yeah, thank you guys once again. And if you have any questions, if you're curious about any more details, just reach out to me. I'll tell you all about it. I'm still shocked by how amazing that trip was. And that was back in spring break in March. We're in May. I'm still thinking about it and I want to go back. So love you guys so much. I pray for you and everybody else who's watching. Go on missions. All right. Ask God, ask him to show you where he wants to take you and see what happens. All right. Love you. That'll be it.